Have you ever imagined yourself being a genius doctor saving lives with hands, or maybe a owner of Pokemon, or even a cute anime character? Yeah, also me at some point. And then, boom, reality hits. I remember I have homework due tonight, and mom yells, "Did you clean your room?" Why do we imagine things that can never happen in real life? Maybe it's because imagination gives us that reality never does, the freedom. In the real world, we have expectation, rules, and people telling us what to do. But in our imagination, we can be anything. There are no limits, no rules, no parents yelling at us. And this also brings into today's story. It is about a man who seems completely ordinary. His wife nags him, nobody respects him, and his life is painfully normal. But inside in his head, he is a brave Navy commander, a genius doctor, and a fearless hero. Like a joke, when he starts to imagine something amazing, someone interrupts him and drags him back to reality. This man is Walter Mitty, from The Secret Life of Walter Mitty by James Thurber. In The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, every moment he escapes into imagination and returns to reality, we can see the tension between freedom and control. Inside in his imagination, Walter Mitty is free, brave, confident, and powerful. But when he came back to reality, his freedom was taken away. The story begins with Mitty as a brave Navy commander shouting, "We're going through!" His voice is full of authority and confidence. In that moment, he is not a weak man, he is a leader. The single scene perfectly shows the kind of freedom that exists only in the imagination. But the freedom does not last long. His wife shouted at him, "Not too fast! You're driving so fast!" And just like that, a brave commander turns back to a weak and ordinary husband. This clearly supports my theory. Imagination gives us freedom, but reality doesn't allow that freedom. Later, Mitty imagines himself as a famous doctor. He is calm, intelligent, and respected. Everyone calls him Dr. Mitty. But again, the dreams collapsed suddenly. It was interrupted by a parking attendant, turning a genius doctor into a man who cannot even park his car properly. Throughout the scenes, their recurring sound, "Puketap, puketap." This rhythm only exists in his imagination. I feel like it is the heartbeat of his fantasy world. When the sound disappears, the noise of reality takes over. People laugh at him and ignore him. Through this moment, we realize that his imagination is not just dreaming, he's surviving it. It's only his safe place, a small world that he can feel free and respected. Reality does not give him a meaning, so he makes it by his imagination. So I think this is why his imagination is always so dramatic and heroic. Also, Walter Mitty doesn't stop imagining. It doesn't matter how many times reality pulls him back. Every time the world shut him down, he built up another one. His imagination never truly disappears. At the end of the story, it's raining. His wife goes into the store, and Mitty stands alone against the wall and starts smoking a cigarette. At that moment, he escaped it again. He imagines himself facing a firing squad. In his mind, he is not a man waiting for his wife anymore. He is Walter Mitty, the undefeated, standing tall, proud, fearless, even in the face of death. He takes the last drag of cigarette, flicks it away, and stares straight ahead. That tiny moment, that small gesture became a symbol of freedom. For once, reality and imagination exist together. Unlike before, reality no longer wins and it doesn't get interrupted. Once more, my theory is imagination gives us freedom, but reality doesn't allow that freedom. To me, this means that inside our imagination, we can be anything: brave, confident, and even unstoppable. But in the real world, something always pulls us down. In imagination, we can control, we can decide. But in reality, it feels like the world decides for us. When I think about this idea, I realized imagination is not just dreaming. It's more like a secret breathing space. It is a tiny mental escape from a life that can be sometimes hard. In that space, we are free. But the moment we come back to reality, freedom collapses. Because, let's be honest, the world doesn't really like dreamers. It prefers workers, followers, and people who don't ask too many questions. Reality keeps reminding us our limits, our age, our failures, and our responsibilities. It whispers to us like, "That's impossible, you'll never make it." So, even though imagination gives us wings, reality keeps making us never fly. And this is not just Walter Mitty's story, it is our story too. Think about it. How many times have you imagined you being smarter, stronger, and more confident? And then laughed at yourself saying, haha, this never happens. But even though it's a tiny moment, you felt something, didn't you? You felt free. Imagination gives us a glimpse of who we could be, even if reality never allows us to be that person. So, in overall, I believe that this story is not just funny or sad, it's deeply human. We all live in two worlds, the real one that limits us and the imaginary one that gives us courage. James Turber, who wrote the story, isn't simply telling the story of one man's daydream. He's revealing something about all of us. At some point in our lives, we've all felt like Walter Mitty, controlled by expectations, overlooked, or trapped in the same routine every day. But imagination gives us a way to resist this. I think it allows us to dream, to feel alive even if the world makes us ordinary. So, when the story ends with Mitty facing the firing squad, he's not defeated. He's even standing proud, and he shows us that even when the world refuses to give us freedom, we could still make it. To me, we can't always change our lives, but we can always choose how to see them. I think this is the real message in this story. And sometimes the quiet choice to imagine is the most powerful way to get freedom. After all, imagination gives us freedom, even reality doesn't allow us to have that freedom.